The Sattler Files.
Welcome to the Sattler Files. This is Murray Korff, and I'm talking with retired Inspector Neil Royle. G'day, Neil.
Morning to you, Murray. How are you?
Oh, look, I'm very well indeed. Neil and I get together and talk about things that not necessarily related to police work, but there's a lot of it in there from time to time. Matters traffic and matters all sorts of things. Yeah,
matters of interest that, and generally when there's a police story of any kind or a law and order issue or a public safety issue or whatever, those things are generally of interest to folks. So
yeah.
You and I are a little bit qualified in talking in those areas.
We are.
We've certainly got opinions.
That they might be wrong opinions.
Well, there are good opinions and bad opinions, but the fact of the matter is everybody's entitled to one.
They are indeed.
And I've got a few.
So have I. I was a bit late coming in this morning, and there was a police car across Barradale Drive, and then another one further down in Kingsley. Yep. And they were diverting traffic, and I got lost in my own suburb. I couldn't get out. I couldn't find my way through all the back streets, and because I don't try and dodge booze buses because I don't drink.
You're a good lad. And your suburb, Kingsley, is one of those dartboard suburbs, isn't it, where the streets go round and round and round and round, end up in the middle.
That's right. You can end up flying up your own exhaust pipe.
For want of a better term. Yes, you can. So if the cops are there with cones and cars and things, so you must sort of a crime scene of some kind, I would suggest.
Yeah, well, it looks like it had been there. There was nobody in the cars. They were just there with their lights flashing and the cones across the road so they couldn't get through, but there was nobody in the cars themselves. And I couldn't quite see where there was any other activity, so I don't quite know what's going on there. But I'm sure it'll come out tonight.
It will, and as long as you're not in a rush to get home, because it is a crime scene, you can cross off about 6 hours.
Is that right? It takes them that long to do?
They and longer.
Yeah?
They really bog in for those things, yep.
Yeah, okay.
Because once they go there and they do their stuff, they've got to make sure they cover every bet while they're in there, because if they go out and then day after tomorrow someone says, "Did you do so-and-so?" "Oh, no." And then by that time the whole world's tramped through there and it's lost and it's contaminated.
Yeah, fair enough.
So they've got to do it. So if they've blocked the street off, they're serious about something.
Okay, well, we'll doubtless find out about it, and hopefully by the time I go home tonight, it'll be cleared.
Hope it's not a drive-by. They're quite popular at the moment.
They seem to be, don't they?
There's some people annoyed with some others that are doing. Yeah.
But I don't think it would be anything as mundane as parking, do you?
Why do you think parking's mundane? People are making a healthy turn of living from parking.
Well,
now I'm getting a bit sulky now because you struck a nerve here because I'm a bit of, I won't say I'm a victim because I'm the architect of my own destiny, and I'll be the first to admit that. But I'm not very happy with the parking situation at the minute, and particularly with Wilson's, who run car park security services or whatever it's called.
But I think if you're going to have a crack at Wilson's, there's a pretty long queue.
Oh, I would have thought so. And mine, and it's a new thing, the parking restrictions, 4-hour parking restrictions in suburban shopping centres. I don't know if they've all got them, but certainly Bull Creek Shopping Centre has, Southlands has, and there's great big signs there, yes, and unless you're totally illiterate, you can see there's a big 4P up there. If you read underneath, it says if you park longer than 4 hours, then vehicles equipped with automatic number plate recognition, ANPR, which is what these car park enforcement people do, go along, photograph your plate, obviously run it to a computer database, and then after 4 hours it goes ka-ching, and they trick on back and write your ticket.
They have a reminder, do they?
Well, something happens because because the cars are doing a number of car parks, so they're not just sitting in the one, they're going all over the countryside. I don't know how far in the metro area they go, but it's got to be viable for them to do it, because they've got to go in a car, driving around, doing these things, and then checking whatever database he's got probably in the car to show when a car has gone over its 4 hours. And the sign says if you go there over 4 hours, it'll cost you $65.
Oh, that's not cheap, is it?
No, it's not. But when you consider, and I'll use my case because I am the victim here, and I say victim because I've got to shell out these dollars. So on Friday, my wife and her sister decided to go and have lunch with her brother and his wife who were going overseas. So I came too, kind of guy I am. So we drove to Murdoch train station to go catch the train to Joondalup, where we're going to meet these folk and have lunch. Yep. So I went to Murdoch train station at about 9:45, Naturally, it's full.
Good luck parking
there. Yeah, I know. So round and round and round I go, and I'm happy to pay the $2 to pay at Murdoch train station, but no. So, and I tried some side streets, and they're not only full of cars, they're also full of signs saying, "Don't you park here for more than 20 minutes or half an hour at a time, or we'll be over like a cheap suit." So down I go. I get all the way down to Bull Creek Shopping Centre, which is almost a kilometre from the train station, and it's a Friday morning, and it's not full. So, yes, I drive past the signs that say 4 hours, and I park the car there, and I figure I'm going to go to lunch. I'll come back. I can 10:30. By 2:30, I've got to be back. I'm done. So, as I'm parking my car, the screening car goes past, and I'm watching him photograph a number plate, so I knew what he was doing. So off I go, and I tell the ladies I'm going with, girls, back here by 2:30 because otherwise I get a ticket. What's the matter? No, you won't. What's the matter with you? That's just all signs. Okay. Yeah. So off we go in there. It's cut a long story short, have lunch, do things, and get back there at 11 minutes to 3. With a big bit of flapping paper on my windscreen saying, "Give us the $65 folding dollars, you goose," and which is me. And I'm going, not happy, not happy, not happy, and expletives like that.
Yes.
They're going, "Oh, wow, gee, oh." And the irony of it all, they still went into the shopping centre for half an hour and bought clobber in there. I had to go and move the car to another bay, otherwise this guy can give me another one, I reckon. So I'm sitting out in the car for half an hour fuming while they're in there spending money in the shopping centre. They just ripped $65 off me for the privilege of shopping in their shopping centre. I would have gone to Geraldton and shopped rather than going to there, but they did because guess what? They're not paying. It's schmuckins me. I'm going to pay.
Yeah, that's it.
So I'm sitting there reading this ticket and trying to think of a reason why I should hang it on a nail behind a toilet door, but it's there. And I'm reading, I thought, what's this? 14 days to pay the ticket, or it goes to $80. A right of appeal within 10 working days in writing only, and after 10 working days, nothing will be entertained. This is pretty good. You can go to court and other things, but not this one here. A speeding ticket in this country, or a seatbelt ticket or anything else, you get 28 days to decide whether you want to pay it or not. Then you can go to court if you wish. Not this one. You will pay within 14 days, or it goes to $80. So I've got it last Friday. This Friday, last Friday, that's 7 days. They're not getting it till 13 days and 58 minutes or whatever it is before I pay my $65.
Fair enough.
So, yes, and the point I'm making, of course, is, yes, I know that the sign said you shouldn't do that, but why is there a need, do you think, for the shopping centres of this state, or in the metropolitan area especially, who want people to go there and shop in their shopping car parks and do their shopping? Yes, I know it's there to dissuade those who want to spend their day, go work in the city and park there on a daily basis.
That's fundamentally it.
That's what it's for. And Southland Shopping Centre is the same, because guess what's right across the road? It is Willerton Senior High School. And of course, not only teachers drive cars, lots and lots and lots of students drive cars too.
They do indeed, and Joondalup Shopping Centre is the same, because right under the Joondalup Shopping Centre is in fact the train station.
Exactly.
So people see it as an opportunity just to park for the day for nothing.
True. And I would have thought, in the spirit of good business, yes, the signs are there, and yes, they're quite prominently displayed. I thought in line with good business and perhaps goodwill, your first mistake might have been, guess what? You parked longer than you should. Next time you're going to get a $65 this, and this, and a little note saying it is if the shop is here and you need, but they're going out whack and hit you. And I think this is a bit ordinary.
Look, I think it is, and I think there's another way that you could actually resolve, or the shopping centres could do it, and that is to say, look, if you park for more than 4 hours, but you can show us that you bought something, then we'll waive the fine. That would be good business. The other thing that they do in Melbourne is that you do pay for parking in the shopping centre, but if you go in and buy something, they validate the ticket and you don't pay.
Way to go. And that, I think, is a more humane and a more reasonable way to conduct your business, I would have thought.
It just is not as aggressive or confrontational doing it that way. They're coming halfway to meet you and say, well, okay, you can park here, but you've got to buy something. And I don't have an argument with that, to be honest.
No, and I'm happy with that too, and that would suit me down to the ground, because as it turns out, they both went in the shop and spent themselves $50 each or something or other, while I'm at the car park still fuming.
That's right.
But
check your blood pressure.
Yes, indeed. So if you attach your receipts to the parking ticket and post it back, that would be fair, I think.
And then dates and times would match up, and they'd say, all right, he spent money and all that. Yeah, fair enough.
And again, I say the car park was nowhere near full, so that wasn't keeping other shoppers from being there. It was actually... It was just empty and...
Yeah, that's right. They're a bit bloody-minded. But look, they've got a name for this for a long, long time. You know that I fly aeroplanes and all that sort of stuff. Down at Jandakot, they have a number of car parks and they were all free. But Wilson's got involved, obviously saw an opportunity, and they put a ticketed parking into all the car parking areas, and there are some safety considerations there, and one of them was that if people thought that you'd gone away for the weekend or for the day or whatever, and they couldn't get back because of weather, they're all of a sudden going to take a risk they may not have wanted to take, or their better judgment would prevent them from taking the risk to get back simply because they were going to get fined for being over time. So, you know, there's all, and I've got to this is, you probably won't laugh at this because as a former law enforcement officer, this probably isn't going to make you feel all that happy, but they had those ticket machines. You know, go and put your credit card in, or $1 or whatever it is, and you get a ticket and that. Somebody in the dead of night with number plates obscured attached a rope to that and the other end to his four-wheel drive and pulled it out of the ground and left it there.
Didn't take the machine?
Just pulled it over and left it there.
That's terrible.
That's
awful.
That's
right. That's terrible. It's willful damage, criminal. And but I'm going to ask the question. So Jandakot Holdings run Jandakot Airport and all the facilities they're in, including the police air wing hangars and goodies out there. So do they attract Wilsons to come and do that, or do Wilsons go there and say, hey, listen, you guys, we can make a shilling out of this if you want to do this, this, this. So what about the hospitals?
Yeah.
The hospitals indeed you've got to pay to park there to go visit sick folk and the rest of it.
You do.
So is that the hospital or is that Wilson's?
That's Wilson's.
Well, tell you what, Wilson's, and tell you what, police department, I've got a winner here for all police stations. You want to stop people coming in complaining at the counter and whinging about the cops and whinging about the crime rate and whinging about people breaking in and stealing cars. Stick some parking meters at the police station and no one's going to come in. It'll be a winner. It's a win-win for everybody.
That's right.
If the cops don't do it, I might.
Good point.
Talking about... Had my win, sorry, that had it.
Fair enough. Well, talking about fines and one thing another, my wife got pinged for going through a red light.
Right.
And that was expensive. And, you know, if ever you want to donate some money, that's the easiest way to do it because it was $300 and I think 3 points
Would be,
or something like that. And... But it really was a point, she must have only just done it. And you were explaining to me just before we came on air that they take the photograph as soon as the red light...
Once the red light's activated and the vehicle crosses over the loop where the white line associated with the traffic lights is, it'll take the first shot.
Okay.
Then 2 seconds or 3 seconds, 2 seconds I think, later, it'll take another one.
Right. Because
on some occasions, people are cruising up the line and they're behind cars who are travelling slowly and they think, I might get across, I might not get across. Then the lights change and they're over the line and they back up.
Yeah.
And then, of course, the photograph will show them crossing the white line and the second photograph will show them behind the line.
Okay.
So they've done the right thing.
Okay.
And it's there again also for the prime example would be emergency vehicles.
Yeah.
Because you are obliged to give way to emergency vehicles, fireys and ambulances and the coppers and the rest of it. And in some occasions, to get out of the way, you need to clear the intersection. So people do go through, albeit working pace and very slowly. They contravene the red light to the extent where they made enough room for the ambulance or the fire brigade to get through. The shot is still fired and they'll still get a ticket in the mail for contravening a red light. Then, of course, the avenue is open to them to say, excuse me, I was complying with the law, because it is the law to give way to emergency vehicles, and I was doing just that. And, of course, those who are reviewing the film would go, yes, just look at it, put the photograph up, look at the next frame, and they're still in the intersection. It will also have a fire engine or an ambulance or something in the frame as well, and then we go withdraw them.
Yeah, okay.
Which is fair. So... Yeah, there are, when you consider, he went through a red light. Well, serves them right. Well, no, she wasn't cracking it at 115 kilometres an hour or something.
No, she wasn't doing that.
She's got it wrong.
She did get it wrong, and, I mean, basically the photographic evidence is there. I mean, the light was red and she was crossing. It was a right turn off Wanneroo Road into Hepburn Avenue, and she was definitely in the wrong. No
and the fact that the first photograph will show her crossing the line,
that's
and
right.
the second photograph will show her mid-intersection or something or other.
Mid-intersection, yeah.
Well, the mathematical calculation then goes as they can, as how fast she was travelling. So she's obviously going really, really slow to get, and she's, it's gone,
That's right.
And it's one of those ones, which costs you 150 for the and 150 for the wah.
That's it. So she's not a happy camper.
No,
I can tell you.
Come and join my club. I'm not happy either. And I didn't do anything wrong other than I didn't shop fast enough. And I shopped fast enough with the people I was with who were dragging their feet a bit. Never mind.
Yes.
Never mind.
One other thing that's been in the media a lot this week is the gorilla in I think it was Massachusetts, was it?
Yes, I think so. Yeah, Cincinnati, Massachusetts, one of the two.
Cincinnati, I think that's right.
Yes, indeed. It's got a lot of toing and froing on that.
Well, there is. A lot of people are saying, well, the mother should supervise children better and stop them from doing that. But look, if anybody's had children and they're at that age of 4, you know that they can be somewhere else just because you look at the time. Yeah. They can be somewhere else altogether, and they are so quick. Well, and I'm not sure that that it's actually fair to say that the mother was negligent.
Well, all the stuff on Facebook and the rest of it and the other stuff the police had done with her said that she got a bunch of kids with her, not just the one. And this 4-year-old said, I'm going over the fence. She said, no, you're not. I'm going over. No, you're not. Yes, I'm going over. And he was insistent upon, and she did something with the other kids, turn around, and guess what? True to his word, he's over the fence.
Yeah.
And he drops down into the moat, and this, 300 kilogram, 400 kilogram, whatever he is, silverback gorilla swoops down on him. Looking at the footage and the complaint that is coming in large numbers is is it the police or the rangers or the zoo officials, why did they shoot and kill this gorilla? The footage, you see the gorilla sitting beside the kid, then grab the kid by the arm and drag him off someplace or other there. That's fine. And people say, well, that's their natural thing. They will look after the child because it's like a baby to them. And, well, the way the gorillas treat other gorillas and other things, they quite easy rip this kid's arm out of its socket, no doubt, whatever. And who's to say what's going to happen? But the thing that concerns me is they're saying, someone said they ran to the range and said, well, look, this gorilla's got his kid in the cage there. So then 10 or 12 minutes later, that's how long it took for someone to do something to get down there. Then it would be a bit of toing and froing about, well, do we tranquilise this gorilla, or do we shoot him, or do we try and jump in there and talk him out of it, or do we just distract him and get the kid off him? And all this toing and froing took place which is an absolute age when this sort of stuff's going on. And they decided then that they needed to shoot to kill this gorilla because a tranquiliser dart would take too long. And
not only that, it might agitate him even more.
Well, don't they shoot rhinos and elephants and bring them down? Well, couldn't you get a gorilla mix into your dart and go kachunko with him?
That's right.
It would take too long and might agitate him. Well, it might distract him too. I would have thought, unless the child, you could see that child's going to get his head pulled off or the gorilla's going to eat him, then you'd certainly shoot and fire upon it. But if it was, the idea was that the kid's life wasn't in imminent danger, the tranquiliser, the super U-boot gorilla mix of tranquiliser, kapow, well, perhaps 2 or 3 of them stick him in him. It would, A, might distract him, B, would certainly sedate him after a period of time. Yeah, it might anger him, but he'd be angered, and gorillas are pretty smart creatures. The gorilla would not think that this 4-year-old kid's done that. He'd be looking to see who did.
Yeah, that's
and
right.
And he'd be looking to pull somebody else's head off. So, yes, people are saying they've done the wrong thing, etc., and they're going to be damned if they did and damned if they don't. The kid survived, didn't he?
The kid did survive, and that's, I think, the other side of the argument. Had the gorilla... had they sedated him and then the gorilla got angry and pulled his head off, then they would have said, well, you should have killed him.
Yeah, true. That's right. They're on a hiding to nothing all the time, these guys.
Well, they are, and it's one of those things in an emergency situation, which that is, you call them as you see them, surely,
Exactly.
And they made the decision that they wanted to make sure that the child survived, so they shot this gorilla. And, look, it's terrible that they had to do that. It really is, but when I've been in emergency situations myself, and sometimes you just think quickly, you have to do something, and at the end of the day, all the slide rules come out then and say, well, if you'd have moved it to the right just a little bit, it would have been okay.
Yeah. Yep.
And armchair experts, you weren't there. Why are you making a comment? And to some extent, I don't disagree with that, because it would have been very emotional, I would imagine, because it was the zookeepers or the zoo staff that shot him.
Yep.
And
okay.
they have attachments to these animals.
Absolutely.
And I'm just not sure they would have done so flippantly.
Oh no, indeed. And what would the outcome have been had the rangers or the keepers looked into there and saw that this child was dead? What would they do then?
Well,
would they shoot the gorilla to go and recover the body? Or would they sedate the gorilla and go and recover? They would sedate the gorilla.
Of course they would.
And go and recover the body. But then they'd be on a hiding to nothing again in case, well, how do you know the child was dead? Might have been unconscious, might have been fainted, might have been, and so, as I said, these guys are on a hiding to nothing all the time.
The microscopic examination of events after they've happened, and you must have been subject to this in the force, that after the event, there's always people who said, well, if you'd have done this, then that would not have been the outcome. It would have been better.
Yes.
But at the end of the day, people are charged with the responsibility of doing these things, and if they do, then you've got to accept that what they did in good faith and as quickly and as efficiently as they possibly could.
Couldn't agree more. And a classic for police, of course, is firearm confrontations.
Yeah.
And over a number of years in various situations where people have been threatening police with firearms, and of course the police are armed, and once that firearm is pointing anywhere near your direction, you need to make in a nanosecond your decision to do whatever you're going to do.
Absolutely.
And what's happened in the past is police have had these things happen, and the person had pointed the firearm, and the police have reacted and fired and done various things, and then it comes to pass that I can think of 3 separate instances where the firearms were not loaded, and in one case it was incapable of firing in any case.
Yeah.
But the guy who's 15 feet away doesn't know that. Exactly right. So again, as you rightly say, the armchair critics sit back with their 2020 vision and hindsight. And say, well, he should have done that, and should have done this, and should have done something else. And the same people say, he who hesitates is lost. So I suppose the best case scenario in those areas are if someone pulls a knife on you and he's 15 feet away. Unless he's really, really good at throwing them, you've got a fighting chance. But at least in those situations when the guy's closing on you with a knife and he's going to get within stabbing distance, you're going to say to him, excuse me, any closer than that?
Yes,
and
I'm going to have to take you out.
And still, they'll be criticised if someone gets shot and severely criticised if someone gets shot and killed.
Absolutely, and I don't think that's really fair at all. No. And what was he doing with the gun or the replica gun or whatever it was in the first place? He was going out there with intent. There's no question about that.
And the worst ones of those are attempting suicide type things. You're not too sure whether they want to be going to kill themselves, or want to draw attention, or want you to kill them for themselves. And have sort of death by police sort of thing, which is really a wonderful state of affairs. But getting back to our gorilla, and the mother is going to get a bit of stick, I would suggest, and she is getting some stick at the moment.
She is, but she came out I think it was on Facebook, and said that she put her side to the story, and basically it was, look, they're kids, they're 4 years old, they're faster than grease lightning, and I momentarily lost him, and then he was over the fence. Now, what mother in the world has never experienced that?
Absolutely.
I mean, they're like that, aren't they?
Yep, absolutely they are. So you need to have, in those sort of situations there, especially if the kid has the capability to do these things. I mean, you can say, I'm going to grab that airplane out of the sky like King Kong did. Well, go for it, son.
That's right.
But I'm going to climb that fence and jump in the cage, and he has the capability of doing that.
Yeah.
You'd have him by the leg all the time. You really would.
You would.
You really would.
We used to, with our kids, put those harnesses on them. In a place like that, they would be on a harness. We wouldn't let them run anywhere.
Not if he has the temptation and the ambition and desire to do that. You'd want him. Yeah, you want him on a big lackey.
You would. Well, we did that. I nearly lost one of them. We were up at the Kalbarri Gorges, and my son, who was how old he would have been, probably about 8. He was always running around. He was like a blowfly in a bottle. He really was. And
blowfly in a bottle.
Yeah, that I cleaned that up. Didn't
You're a good lad.
And we had him on a rein, and that saved him from going down a gorge.
Yeah.
It really
Oh,
did.
I don't doubt it for a minute. They're quicker, right? Don't worry about that.
This was the same child that hung onto the back of when bread deliveries were being done, a bread truck, hung onto the back of that and dragged him all up the street.
What's wrong with that?
He ended up in hospital with most of his leg gone.
Oh, God. I was an ideal child, apparently, according to my parents when I was younger. But yes, when I was at my grandmother's house, they certainly had the Iceman come around. He cometh, the old Iceman, and the bread man did indeed. And the guy that had the choc milks and things. And yes, I was invariably getting in trouble for running down behind there and jumping on and doing various things. And
well, he hung on to the handle and he lost his footing and he dragged his leg. He was looking for a free bun.
Good God. No, it's... Yeah,
he's now nearly 50 years old, and I keep reminding him of that. He's a bit tired of that now. But anyway, that's his problem.
Fathers do. But still, and again, that's what children are children, and you need to be ever vigilant.
Yes,
ever.
Indeed. But you have to be, don't you?
Yep.
Yeah.
Because they're quick. Even the ones that are 9 months old are starting to crawl. When you think, I hope this kid crawls real soon because he's doing this and doing that. When they do finally get going, kapow, they're off.
They're off.
And you're going to be a sucker if you think that for 3 seconds you're not looking, they're not going to be 10 feet away and into something different.
My grandson, who was 4 at the time and living in Canberra, he got onto the roof of the house just by climbing up a fence, and that happened to be within reach, and he swung himself up onto the roof. And his mother was absolutely distraught, but it's not that she was a careless mother.
No.
It's just that he was faster than she was.
That's right. And now he worked for Cirque du Soleil and he's keeping her in the wealth she's had to be accustomed to for a while.
That's right.
How'd it go?
Yeah. Oh, he was a terror. He's not much better now, I must say. But anyway, there you go. We might just take a very swift break and come back and talk some more.
Why not?
Back soon.
This is the Sattler File. This is the Sattler File.
Hi, I'm Stuart Donald from Mature Australia Party. In the upcoming election, people are going to be asked to make a choice for the future direction of the nation. We would like people to consider if anything has improved under either of the major parties. Mature Australia has a well-rounded set of policies that benefit all Australians. We have a plan to support the pensioners, disabled, homeless and returned servicemen with an improved pension structure and improvements to support services and the health system. If you agree with these policies, vote 1, Mature Australia. We represent you.
This is the Sattler File.
DevRite Homes, when you're looking for attention to detail and a uniquely designed home to suit all your needs. At DevRite Homes, we only build a limited number of homes per year, so we can truly focus on what you want out of a prestige home builder. We've continually won awards for excellence, with a record number of wins last year and the proud winner of the Australian Townhouse Villa of the Year. While we love building homes to suit each client, we pride ourselves on designing homes that take into account the special safety needs of some of our clients. If you have a dream, we can make it come true. Talk to Jay Mangano and find out more about DevRite Homes at www.devrite.com.au.
You need banking services of any type. Secure Force Protective Services run a cash and transit service here in Perth. From as little as $25, why risk your employees travelling to the bank when Secure Force can do it for you? Give us a call at 9440-5011.
You only ever want the best for your family, and no one understands this better than the caring ladies at Marina Perslow and Associates. That's why we offer Australia's leading prepaid funeral plan. It means your family won't be left with the added strain of organising your funeral, and everything will be taken care of, all the little details. Your family will have the support they need with a woman's touch and gentle understanding. So leave them with loving memories and leave the rest to us. Visit marinaperslowfunerals.com.au or phone 9388 1623.
I'm John Hughes. If you want a hassle-free, very enjoyable and happy experience when buying your next vehicle, come to me in Victoria Park. I personally train all my salespeople to be non-pushy, friendly and professional, and we always strive to provide first-class before and after-sales service to all of my customers. So choose your dealer before you choose your car. That's John Hughes in Victoria Park, your car buying destination. DL 6061.
This is the Sattler File.
Welcome back to the Sattler Files, and we're with Neil Royle, and we're talking all sorts of rubbish. No, we're talking all sorts of interesting subjects. But we talked about the gorilla just a moment ago, and perhaps the other thing that there's a big controversy about is shark attacks. And whether or not we should be hunting sharks. And there's people who say we're going into their environment, so we deserve what we get, and there are others that are saying, well, we need to stop this because they've been a protected species and their numbers have exploded.
I suppose when you look at what's happening in this week, particularly, and past weeks as well, on the list of the most dangerous sports you can do is surfing and fishing, it would seem.
Yes,
because a lot of fishermen have been going missing as well, and so forth, and
coming off rocks, falling off rocks, and washing off rocks. And
this
things.
Shark one, that Falcon Beach,
Falcon
Beach. That young fella's still in a lot of trouble in hospital.
Yes, he is, and with minus one of his legs.
Absolutely. So now they're looking for a 3-metre white pointer. So they're saying they're going to go out and bait it today until sunset. If they don't catch it, off they go from there. So that just regenerates the whole argument again. So the beaches are closed down there. Well, they hunt for this shark.
Look, I really struggle with the solution to this. I'm not sure that that killing the sharks is the right thing to do, but what do you do to people? I mean, we remember Daniel Crew. Ken Crew, down at Cottesloe. The shark ate his ski, and
big
then
chomp out of that.
And all of this sort of stuff. They're there, and we've just got to learn to live with it. We can put shark nets in and all that sort of stuff, but at the end of the day, every time you go in there, you're taking a risk.
Surfing and doing things in the water is always going to be hazardous, and I would draw a parallel with if you went to South Africa into Kruger National Park and rode your bicycle across the park there in lion and tiger land, you would expect to have some trouble, wouldn't you? You would not be surprised if something come out of there and wanted to bite you.
Well, you wouldn't get out of the truck, would you?
Well,
walk around.
Well, you wouldn't be on a bicycle either, would you?
No, indeed not.
And it's the same as if you're out there surfing. Well, guess what? You're on a bicycle virtually, and
that's right, you are.
So
not even with the protection of a bicycle.
No, exactly right. And so for any shark to get me in recent times or any time, he's got to come up through the plug hole in my shower recess because I ain't going in there. Not going in there.
No, me either.
No.
Me either.
We wish this young fella well, and
we do.
Have your little hunt and see if you can find this one. But even if they do catch a 3-metre, and I know someone's estimated to be 3 metres long, if they catch a 3-metre white pointer shark there, so what then they'll just try and find something inside to positively identify it.
Yeah.
Good luck.
Yeah.
Good luck.
And the other big search that's going on is for a couple of fishermen that seem to have come to grief somewhere, and I see the police air wings up there searching and all that sort of stuff. That's a terrible thing that's happened there, isn't it?
Well, some tourist divers have found an arm.
Yeah.
Which is now in the hands of police for forensic examination.
Yeah.
I expect they would, and depending on how much water damage has been done, et cetera, they could probably go with fingerprints. But again, wait and see what happens from there.
That's just a job that I guess the police have to do, but at the end of the day, it's one of the less palatable ones, I would have thought.
Well, it's not that flash.
No. And, of course, they got involved with the one down at Falcon as well. I mean, the guy's come to shore and he's got all sorts of people around him, but the cops were there as well, weren't they?
Oh, yeah, indeed, because they'll need to attend because of the injury to the person, because it could end up being a coronial inquest.
Oh, of course, yes, that's right.
So they need to be on first hand what's happening, what the first responders are doing, and what the ambos are doing, and what the ambos are saying. It just certainly is strange that that RAC 1, the RAC rescue helicopter, lands on the beach.
That doesn't take anybody away.
No, and they put this guy in the ambulance, taken to Peel Health Campus. Then later on they transfer him into RPH. I wonder why that is.
Look, the explanation that was on 9 News was it last night or the night before? Can't remember. They said that his need for a blood transfusion was urgent.
Oh, okay.
And that the quickest way to get that was to take him to Peel, which was a lot closer than getting him in the helicopter. By the time the helicopter gets to, let's say, Royal Perth or maybe even Fiona Stanley, it was going to be too long.
Oh, okay.
And that's the explanation that they gave. But, I guess I can understand that, but goodness me, getting a helicopter from Jandakot down there and back again would have cost many thousands of dollars, you know.
Oh, yeah.
What's a human life worth?
Exactly. My immediate thought when I saw the helicopter leaving, I thought they've given up on this guy.
Mm. Yes,
that's
I
my
did
immediate
too.
thought. I'm sorry about that, but that's what I thought. And Jeff Parry on 7 News was saying that his condition is this, that and the other, and he's looking very ashen on the beach. And I thought, oop, Jeff's half saying things here. So, but I'm wrong, and that's good, and I hope this young fella pulls through.
Yeah.
And we have, as you would have seen in the International Surfing Championships at the minute, a lady surfer whose name escapes me who lost her arm with a shark attack, and she's cracking it real big out there with them.
She is,
and good for her.
Yeah, absolutely.
No, good for her.
So the police air wing up at Coral Bay, that doesn't look like that's going to end well, does it? Not now.
No, unless they've found some random arm that doesn't belong to this, and that's pretty hard to imagine.
Yeah.
Yep.
And if it was a random arm, they'd want to know who it came from.
Well, exactly right. Well, you cast your mind back to the shark arm case in Sydney in the 40s or the 50s.
I don't remember that one.
There was a similar situation, an arm washed up on the beach, and this was a right arm, and you would have thought it would be easy to identify. The forearm had two boxes shaping up to each other, the tattoo of two boxes shaping up to each other, and they never found who that was.
They not.
Nope. And they think it might be a sailor off a ship passing out to sea that's washed ashore or something or other, but they never ever found who it was, and they had it's famous, the shark arm case. Look it up.
Is that right?
Yes.
See, once again, working here on the Sattler Files, you learn something every day.
I didn't learn who the shark arm case fella came from, but we certainly know it was there.
That's right. Well, I didn't know about that, so I've learned something.
I hope it's not the other arm.
No.
Well, it's not very nice. Sorry. No, I retract that.
No, you need to do that. Neil, thank you so much for being with us today and having a chat about all random sorts of things. I enjoy it immensely, and we look forward to catching up with you again real soon.
And we'll be opinionated as ever next week.
Indeed we will.
Good on you, mate.
More on the Sattler Files shortly.
This is the Sattler Files.